All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Talking That Talk official podcast, where we have comfortable and uncomfortable conversation. I am your host, Juice, aka No Ordinary Brother.
What's good, world? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. I go by the name of King Exodus, aka X. And as usual, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all. Thank you for tapping in. Make sure you share the live. Make sure you tap into the YouTube channel, Talking That Talk official podcast. So, getting into this topic tonight, we're going to talk about biting the hand that feeds you. All right. So, we're going to talk about people appreciating their relationships properly, whether they be intimate, family, friendships, business-wise. We're just going to dive into multiple levels where people really bite the hand that feeds them. They go against the grain. They go against people that are beneficial to their production in life. You feel me? So we're going to talk about why these things seem to happen. Is it like a cultural defect? We're just going to tap in all the way. Most definitely, just observing life. I've seen a lot of people bite that hand that feeds them. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that have people in their life that's responsible, that's devoted, that carry the load for the family, for the team, for the friendship, for the business. A lot of times those people don't really get the credit or the respect that they deserve. Maybe they get it after their demise, and that'll be tapping into the whole necromancy culture to where people appreciate people more so when they die versus actually live in effect. You know what I mean? So we're just going to tap in. So, Juice, what you got on topic, man?
All right. Well, like I said, the biting the hand that feeds you is biting the hand that helps you. Oh, man. I always ask myself at times when it comes to situations like this, why are we more hungry than what we're being fed? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to look at it from a pride standpoint, an ego standpoint. Um, I believe I became victim to a couple of these situations only because not necessarily stabbing somebody in the back, but the hunger for more power or more of what they were giving me kind of got in this situation, right? I don't think a lot of people understand like staying humble and being appreciative of what you're receiving is takes you longer than it is for you trying to ask for more to a point an individual will see like, hey, look, I understand you're hungry for the situation, but if you're being too greedy, I don't know if I can still trust you on that level. Now, this conversation goes multiple different ways with this subject. So that's just my interpretation as of right now.
All right, cool. So first area I tap into is the past, right?
Fast?
The past, yeah. You have to remember your past, people. You feel me? Like, if this person once fed you, if you once ate off this person's plate, it's going to be, or it should be harder for you to disrespect that person's character later in life once that process is over with. Now, if somebody just do some foul shit that's completely against your morals, like some shit come out their closet and you just really don't agree with that shit because it's just immoral, it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not humane, then okay, cool, you can separate yourself from that person and their actions at that particular moment. Case in point, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm reached a particular point to where he felt like Elijah wasn't practicing what he was preaching, so to speak, right? So he started biting that hand. But in his brain, it was justified because the things that he found out that, or he believed he was doing, was against his morals. So in that case, people will justify biting the hand that's feeding you and that fed you. You feel me? So a lot of times in life, we'll lift people up. We'll help them. We will do all these particular things in life. And then sometimes when those people get past that particular point to where they need you within that same capacity, or they still can need you within that same capacity, they'll bite that hand, especially if they feel like they're justified in doing so. So that's one example bringing up. I just want to tackle that. Even
that was powerful. I don't think people understand what you just said. That was powerful. Like we don't ever talk about that side. That's what I was trying to explain. Like sometimes it's people don't ever look at it like that.
And I'll bring on one more. You got like Snoop and Suge. You feel me? Like at one point, Snoop was like, "Okay, it's beef. I'm finna engage. I'm finna go at dude." He was like, I don't agree with that because you once ate off that man's plate. That man took you out the slums and made you who you are. So even though I'm beefing with you at that particular moment, or we started off as friends. Now it's a little bit of chaos or contentions within the middle of that relationship. It still don't mean I'm gaining that enemy just because the friendship is changing. You know what I'm
Two
saying? That's
parts.
maturity. Yeah. So it's like, cool. I still want to see you win, even if we're not eating at the same table. It don't mean fuck you because the personal shit, you know what I'm saying, that relationship has changed or altered. You feel me? So I just want to tap into those aspects. If somebody failed you once before, especially when you needed it the most, I don't believe in shitting on that person's character later in life. You know what I
Mm.
mean? If you talk about a person's flaws with another individual, I don't think that's the conversation appropriate for you to have because remember, this person once fed you. Even if I don't like some things about somebody that fed me once before, there's still certain ways I'm gonna react on that because I still gotta respect the past. I gotta respect that particular time period when that person fed me. So we can't allow people to feed us and then turn around and justify the reasons why we shit on the character later in life.
Mm.
That's my opening.
That was a beautiful opening, nigga. I don't even know what to say after that, man. I don't even know what to say after that, man. But go ahead and go to work. Let me go ahead and go to work. Some key components that you said was like I said, the Malcolm X was one of the most beautiful analogies right there, right? Um, we got to be able to look at situations like that where that hand, that's another thing. Sometimes the same hand that was feeding you has now slipped a different hand into your face. We'll talk about the up, you know what I'm saying? What they say, never tell your right hand what your left hand is doing. You know what I'm saying? You might be still thinking this is the same hand you was eating off of, but it's a whole different thing. You might have nutrients, you know what I'm saying? You got your health, your diets. Somebody slipped you some fast food, some poison, and you still trying to consume the shit that's not even getting you there where you want there. Um, I do also believe, like, when you talk about the past, man, it's very hard for me to actually shit on somebody, man. That's why I take relationships the way that, I keep it like very firm, right? Anytime I hear people talk bad about a relationship, I don't want to talk to them. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? There's so much bad shit. You stay with them so long, I want to hear the good shit. Like, it's too much. Like, yeah, man, I didn't put this person on their feet. I did this. I did that. Okay, cool. Well, that's part of being in a relationship. Are we going to forget that? To see each other make progress, to see each other lift each other up, to support each other, want to provide for each other. That's why some of the shit I just can't get down with as I get older. It doesn't make sense for me, right? There's a situation right now that's going on, right? Notorious daughter, Big's daughter, right now. She's in a situation where her her boyfriend, they have a child. Her boyfriend basically was trying to drive off against police officer. He got pulled over. They ran his license plates, and when it came to the license plates of the situation, it was suspended. So he tried to hurry up and jump in his Hellcat and drive off. He ended up hitting a couple people and crashing. He had $1 million bond. His woman when it came, his woman when it got him out of jail, right? You have women who look at the situation like, but that's not your husband, right? It's amazing to me. Like, I'm kind of going off subject, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, when it comes to relationships, right? This is the stuff we got to be able to put up with when we get involved with somebody. I don't believe in minimizing the efforts or what I'm willing to do for somebody, right? People want to put a certain, how can you say that? A certain,
Stipulation type shit.
they want to put a certain level of what you should do and what you should do, unless it's your marriage, right? We talk about the fact I said, but look, they had a child out of wedlock. Why she wouldn't be taking the same heat? But now to get off the relationship part, let's get back to the part about biting the hand that feeds you. A lot of things we got to be able to see is like pay attention to the hand sometimes. The same shit you eat and you shouldn't be eating. That's the one of the keynotes I say.
Cool, cool. All right. So one thing I noticed about this process of biting the hand that feeds you, some people will bite that hand because they feel like it's always gonna be there.
Yeah,
And then you
your
have
parents, your
right.
parents.
And then some people just they bite the hand when they no longer need the hand. So it's like, okay, cool. Questions, but it's kind of equaling out to a very similar meeting point. If you no longer need that hand, you still should appreciate what that hand did for you. You feel me? Like appreciation goes a long way. And I think that's a lot of times where people miss that whole point of your network is your net worth type
Mhm.
of conversation, right? Just
Right.
because you may not no longer need people within the same capacity, it don't take them out of your network. So appreciation is what should keep those people within your network.
Mhm.
And some people be like, okay, cool. Friends shouldn't do business together, right?
Mhm.
Well, define friendship. Define what is a friend to you. Because if we can add value to each other and this relationship prospers off of value and not just having a good time, to me, that's what I define a friend,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So a lot of times people use these uh quotes, and it's like I challenge them because it's like, does that quote really apply to you, and why should you live by that quote? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So if we say, hey, friends shouldn't do business together, redefine what you call a friend, because that's who you should be able to do business with. That's the
In a
basis of
heartbeat.
a friendship. You feel me? So we shouldn't. What we pretty much is saying is that our friends ain't gonna add value to us, and we're not gonna add value to them, right? So you build more appreciation with people based on what you can accomplish with those people. It don't have to be monetary. It could be changes within your life, having the right conversations with somebody. Their energy, right, can add value to your life and vice versa.
Mhm.
So these are the kind of relationships that we have to appreciate, right? And thinking that that hand will always be there, that's taking shit for granted, right? You can't. I'm pretty sure everybody got somebody in their family, somebody, some good friend, a good person that gets taken advantage of because people think this person's heart is gonna always be this way. They always gonna give. They're a giver. And some people can sense that and they think that that person will never change.
Mhm.
What if the hand is feeding you that you living off of at this particular moment? What if that person fumbled the bag?
Mhm.
What you pretty much is saying is that their longevity is always going to be successful. And that's why you ain't got to go out there and get it yourself.
Mhm.
So it's a dependency issue. And then some people bite that hand, well, dependency issue as well, when they no longer feel like they have to depend on it. So
Oh
keep
man,
it going.
I got a story right now, man. Called one of my young brothers. You know what I'm saying? We check on each other periodically. He actually check on me more, right? Called him the
Mm-hmm.
other day. And I said, "Yo, brother." I was like, "Yo, what's going on with you?" He said, "Going good." All right, look, man. I said, "Look, I'm gonna jump into it, get straight to business with you." Um, I just received a credit line of X amount,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nice credit line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling them, "Hey, look, I told you, in the past how to build up your credit, how to do things of that nature, and I just want to make sure you're doing the same things. This is what I did, and this is what I got for this credit line." And something in the back of my mind, right? I sent it to even some family members I did business with, right? I said, "Hey, look, you want to talk to this bank? I was able to get this amount. I don't know what your credit score is right now, but I've been telling
Mm-hmm.
everybody for the longest, look at your
Mm-hmm.
credit score. Look at your credit score. You're gonna have to pick
Mm-hmm.
and choose what you want to do in this life. I want to leverage that. Fuck, straight up, I want to leverage that and keep capital." So
Mm-hmm.
in the back of my mind, I was like, there was this one individual I no longer talk to,
Mm-hmm.
no longer talk to. In the back of my mind, I was like, man, I want to contact this dude and tell him what just happened for me. And maybe it can happen for them. But my homeboy reminded me, he was like, bro, don't ever forget, the dude tried to shit on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still trying to reach back to an individual that helped me out at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I got to remind myself, like, yo, if somebody just shit on me because we had a disagreement, why would I still try to help them out or get them on a better path or even open more opportunities for them when they just already showed me what they're about? And we don't talk about that, right? Sometimes the same hand that fed you, we be feeling like we're in debt to them to make sure they're still okay in life or they can eat off what
Mm-hmm.
we are doing or what we have been, putting into the process and put in existence. I say,
Mm-hmm.
yo, be cautious of that at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. I'm a big believer in share my network and I'm 100% believer in protecting my network. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people your credibility, your network is the individuals you introduce to them at the same time. Say this all the time. If I introduce you to somebody that you said you want to make moves with and I point you in the right direction and you don't execute with that person, we're going to have a fucking problem. Because I'm wasting his time by informing them that you wanted to do something of that nature, and that's the field they can help you out in. So I got to
Mhm.
protect my network from people fucking it up. So at the same time, I'm willing to open my network, but 100% I'm going to protect my network. I don't need nobody shitting on it. I don't need nobody trying to bite me. I don't need nobody trying to fuck over people around me. So
Right.
I'll also
And
say, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead. Okay, cool. On what you said, man, hey, let the church say amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. The spirit is working, brother. So kind of backing up what you're talking about, like just because somebody have your best interest at a particular moment doesn't necessarily mean that they will always have that same vibration towards you, right? That can
Right,
change. And if you feel indebted to a person just because they once had that energy to you, now we get into this whole toxic shit.
right.
Because like you say, the hand and change, but you still thinking it's the same hand. You know what I'm saying? It's connected to the same body, but it's a different hand.
And
You feel me?
they gonna
So
quote me in the future, baby. They gonna quote me in the
right.
future.
So even within that capacity, I still say it's a way you handle that situation. Um, Definitely it wouldn't be handled the same if that hand never fed me, but it definitely would be handled based on my survival and my success.
Mhm.
Feel me? So you definitely have to pay attention to when people no longer have your best interests. And some people mistake disagreements with not having your best interest anymore. Like just because a disagreement exists, it doesn't mean that the interest is gone. You feel me? So you just gotta look at that however you look at it. Um, One key point I could say is you always want to give back. You know what I'm saying? If that relationship is positive and it's still progressing and that person once fed you, you want to find ways to give back. Not because you particularly are indebted, but because you have appreciation for people's actions. We living in a world now where a lot of people feel so entitled to certain things from people that they forget to show their appreciation. They forget to give back. You know what I mean? When we look at somebody like Nip felt like his community is what made him. So he always gave back to the same community because, hey, I wouldn't be shit without ground zero. These were my first supporters. So I
Mhm.
gotta get him something. You feel me? Some people feel like, okay, cool, you supported me in the past. The fuck that mean now? I'm on another level. Some people will cater to the new audience and not cater to the old audience. And
Mhm.
we find out a lot of careers can collapse that way. You came in the game this way talking about this to cater to this specific crowd. Now you switched everything up. Now you're talking to a new crowd. You went pop. So you're going to lose the old following because the new following is what's putting money in your pocket.
Mhm.
So some people will build that tactic around what's paying now versus what put me en route. So giving back to me is like a balance between the two. You feel me? So
Mhm.
you definitely want to give back. That shows a great deal of character and appreciation. Even if people don't appreciate the actions, I think that's a personal thing at that moment. If you give it back, you know what I'm saying? That's something within your heart, your mind, your conscience that's pushing you to take those actions. Some people be like, I ain't gonna get back to the hood because the hood ain't gonna know what to do with it anyway, or they just gonna fuck it off, or they don't fuck off the opportunity. So fuck giving back. No,
Mhm.
you got to be balanced. If you're doing that action, do that because something within you is telling you to do that, and you're going to gain something from it. You gain something from giving back. It's not always who you're giving back to, always the person that's gaining and benefiting from that. Uh, Kevin Gates, wild guy, very wild. He did
You
an
know, I
interview.
love
It's a
I'm a
wild
Kevin
boy.
Gates fan, baby. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey, hey, you a wild boy too, then.
He some
You a
crazy shit,
wild
dog.
nigga too. You feel me? So Kevin Gates, you know what I'm saying? He was saying he was on the verge of suicide. And a fan came up to him and was like, hey, your music helped me. It did something for me. It made me want to live. And he's like, damn, right? I'm pretty sure when he was making that music, he didn't think that that impact would happen and then come back and give him something back in return,
Mm.
right? Because he was the first giver within that, right? But what he gave came back to him. Now we could talk about compensation, karma, and all these things. I ain't gonna go there though. That's universal laws. But
Mm.
I ain't gonna rant too long. That's what I'm talking about on the giving back factor. So what you got on that, man?
Man, whew,
Chili Cole was good.
man. Yeah, you know, Chili Cole
I
right
feel
there,
you.
man. Chili Cole
I
gonna be
feel
doing the
you.
thing. I love Chili Cole, man. Chili Cole always welcome in. Uh, one thing that was like kind of going
Mhm.
through my mind is as we talk about the subject is like, yeah, I don't think
Mhm.
people understand like how deep this actually gets into. Um,
Right.
and at the same time, like you said, we're talking about being in debt to people that once helped us out.
Mhm.
Or oh, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
not even a hand that feeds you. You need to learn how to extend your own hand.
Mhm.
Lately, how my network been growing for this year, I just been extending my hand, 100%.
Mhm.
I ain't got
Mhm.
fed off shit. I
Mhm.
literally told this new business owner that I've been getting comfortable with. I said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. In the area you in, it's only three. There's only three, four black businesses that I know 100%. I think it would be best for you to link with other these other black businesses that I have seen sustain for at least
Mhm.
for a year or two. For right now, for
Mhm.
you to collaborate." And
Mhm.
he was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. He was like, yo, you don't mind introducing me? I said, hell no. I said, I got them on my phone. Called them. I'm setting up a meeting for us for Monday. I'm working for this dude for free, and I don't
Right.
care, right?
Right.
He even asked me one time. He said, yo, what is your end goal?
Mhm.
What are you trying to do? I said, look, man, I operate like this. I believe in longevity in relationships, whether it's
Mhm.
friendships or it's business. I also believe in favor for favor, and I also believe that ends to a means. Our relationship will be based on how we interact, how far we can go. I said, you still haven't launched your business. I said, how are you gonna do your promotions? He said, well, I was gonna run social media. I said, look, you're in a suburban neighborhood. I'll take care of that for you. Run me some flyers. I'll do that shit for you. I said,
Mhm.
I'm at least see about 300 people a day while I'm in this area. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'm also networking with these other businesses. So he's
Mhm.
like, damn, like, for real? Like, yeah. I came there and he also has his business contracted, right? The people ain't even showing up to fucking work. I said, hey, Mondays I'm free. I'll give you my time for free. Let's just talk. Came there last Monday. We talked to business. I sat with him, sat with the contractors. We start mapping out things. He started showing me the
Mhm.
regulations. He said, Jonathan, come here. I'm going
Mhm.
with him. He said, okay, I need this by 16 by 15. I'm learning how the restaurant industry works, and I've been wanting to learn that shit for the longest,
Mhm.
right? People tell you, hey, pay a consulting fee. I've been working with the brother for free. I've
Personal
been learning that
experience.
for free.
Right.
But all I did was extend my hand at the same time. I'm like, yo, you need help? I got your help. I know these people right here. Connect with these people. I've been setting up meetings. I already got one meeting with them right now. It's another brother that runs a Jamaican spot. They both 31 years old, making
Mhm.
big. They're doing big things. So I was like, y'all need to connect with each other. There's a
Right.
winery. There's a black restaurant that owns a winery. I said, I see everybody there. I see government officials there. I didn't see people do podcasts there. I was like, you
Mhm.
want to connect with them to get connected to the higher up people that's within the subdivision. I said, right here, that coffee shop right there, they do a monthly CEO meeting of everybody that stays within the surrounding areas of 10 miles. I said,
Mhm.
that coffee shop doesn't fit no more than like 25 people. This, the building you're in, it fits about 50 people to 100. I actually fit like 200 people. I said, what you want to do is be able to talk to them and be able to see if you can move that into your sports bar. Like I said, I'm working here for free. I'm just extending the hand. I'm not eating off shit. I don't care for it. Like I said,
Right.
things will return with me within time.
Right. And tapping in, you feel me? Like extending your hand, you have to understand compensation and how it works. A lot of times people speak on karma, they speak on it within a negative uh aspect, right? But the same thing works. Like even while you extend your hand, you're forming new relationships and new good karma for yourself, right? So sometimes what I've seen is some people are so focused on building new relationships that they forget to appreciate the ones they already have. Like a lot of this is how wicked this shit can get. You feel me? Like the intention is good on creating new relationships, but sometimes people create more relationships that they can actually tend to and appreciate and keep growing value. So some
Ooh,
people can create new relationships and lose other relationships within that same capacity. So definitely, with every new relationship you create, you always want to make sure that you can give equal appreciation to all these relationships because that will keep your network strong. Meeting 10 new people a day, but losing three a day, that's not really going to balance out for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can get more by keeping all those relationships intact if they add value to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that would take me to my next point. One time, I had a guy that was like a mentor to me, and I just shot him a text one day, "Hey, how you doing?" His response was like, "Wow." I was like, "What?" He like, "You asked me how I was doing." You know, what I mean, people don't get that on a daily basis. They can have kids, wife, husband, uh, you know what I'm saying, all these different kind of relationships, but no one checks on them because most likely they that hand is feeding people. You feel me? So just simply asking somebody, "How's your day going? How you feel? What's good with you?" That can mean so much for that person because they so busy feeding, they never get nothing in return. Even
Mm-hmm.
something simple as a "How are you doing?" and it's genuine.
Conversation.
You feel me? I ain't talking about that WYD text or that good morning text. I'm talking about genuinely checking on somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, probably feeding you or somebody else or a multitude of people. We definitely want to check on people. This new culture shit where people only fuck with people when they need them, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
into that shit.
Not at
That's
all.
not the only time we're gonna have a conversation is when you need something. I don't care who you are, kid, whoever, whatever. We're gonna keep this line of communication open so that when you do need something, I know it's appreciation within this relationship. So
Mm.
that's all I got on checking on people and
Oh,
creating new relationships.
oh man. One thing I will say is when you said forming new relationships and forgetting old relationships, um, some people will look at it as I'm gonna have to say. Snoop Dogg said it the best: closing the gap. Sometimes that gap is meant to. Sometimes that gap is meant to be opened up for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I am 100% believer in checking up on old friends and stuff. But at the same time, if I'm always the one that's reaching out, it becomes a problem, right? I talk to a good amount of people on a daily basis, and sometimes I just really be focused on my own world. I spoke about the individual earlier, and I was like, "Yo, I have somebody who check up on me so much." Because it's not like I forgot about them. I just be so busy trying to get things off in my life. Like I said, uh, I got an SBA meeting Monday. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go meet some mentors right now that's going to help me get some things off the ground level. So I'm always looking to make myself productive because I want to be able to help people out. You know, I tell people all the time, like, "Yo, what is one of your desires?" I'm like, "Power." I was like, "See, power has no wrong and right. It's what you do with it." I want the ability to hire people. I want the ability to put people in different places, right? I want the ability to do a lot of things that you will see it will be looked at as a good factor as an individual who is helped, right? Because if you mention power to people, people want to look at it like, oh, you just want to, it's ego and pride. Like, no, 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 no. I know what I want to do with it. That's why I keep my hand down, right? That's why some of us that always look at being the producer and provider, we always get spit in the face at the end of the day because you don't know what we're sacrificing,
Mm,
right? That's why when people be like, "Yo, the CEOs, y'all don't pay, your people right." Yo, do you know how much we got to pay? Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, do you understand? Like, the checks we cut is the reason why people survive or actually thrive in society. That's
mm,
why it will always be mind blowing to me that some business owners get spit on and don't really understand what's going on behind the scenes.
mm,
So
mm,
but like I said, when it comes to the relationship things, like I said, I always keep making them new relationships, but always check back on old relationships. But I do believe in the closing the gap and analogy. Some people you got to leave behind. I
mm,
can't force nobody to come up here, man. I can't. Like
mm.
people like the ambitions and your desires. This shit can't be taught. It's just what the fuck we want to do.
Right. To back up what you're talking about, Dave East got a song, Corey, right? And
Oh,
Corey was
I
like,
ain't heard that in a minute. Yeah.
yeah, Corey was like a day one. East continued to extend his hand. Corey was on some personal bullshit. He kept biting at hand, biting at hand, biting at hand. He kept extending it, extending it, extending it. Then when it became, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna close the gap. Now Corey and his feelings like, fuck you doing? You thought that hand was gonna always be there. You ain't
Mm.
appreciate that hand.
Mm.
So
My
definitely
brother
tap into
Corey,
that
man, I
same,
heard that in
yeah,
a minute,
tap
bro.
into that Corey.
I heard
So
that in a minute, bro.
you feel me? So my one of my last points will be rank. A lot of times, even within the employment world, you feel me? Like a boss, right? Not a boss. Let's just say a manager, right?
Right.
A supervisor. You ain't even the boss. You just running this particular installation.
Mm.
They feel like they the hand that's providing shit. You're not even the hand. You just managing people,
Mm.
but you feel like you can't give back to your employees.
Mm.
So you have different types of people within that position. Some people feel like, okay, cool. If I'm up in rank, I ain't got to give shit to the people below me, even though they within that same supply chain that makes
That
me
you
what I
can
am. Right.
entitlement. Yeah,
You
that's the
feel me?
entitlement
Then some people, it's
mentality.
like, I'm gonna give back to these people because I know if I give back and I show appreciation, they're gonna work 10 times harder. So they're gonna
Correct.
become more beneficial to me within that same process.
Mm.
So you have two different types of people when it comes to rank. You feel me? You can be high in rank, but that don't mean that you can't also give at the same time.
Mm.
Some people feel like, hey, I'm OG status now. So I'm gonna make the people beneath me, right, put money in my pocket. I'm gonna abuse the people that's beneath me because of my rank. And
Mm.
then you got some G's that's like, man, I'm gonna lead these people the right way. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Mm.
These people gonna move harder for you. You feel me? So a lot of times people that rank get to their hand, they hit, and even if you are that hand in that particular case, it's still ways that showing simple appreciation to the people that's beneath you can make both y'all succeed even further. Mike Rashid gave a talk one time, and he was like, "Yo, if I got an employee that really just show their ass and they really beneficial to the company, I'm gonna give something to that person." Some people feel like if you getting a paycheck already, I already gave you something.
Right.
You getting some type of compensation, so that I don't have to do more. And some people feel like I'm gonna overcompensate because I want you. It's not because want you to work 10 times harder, but I appreciate what you're doing so much. This is what I'm gonna give you. And then we can tap into like some people work a job, get what they get paid normally. Some people go above and beyond. They get bonuses. You can get that extra OT or something. You feel me? Because hey, you working real good for me, so that's what I'm gonna do for you. I
Right.
might bring y'all food this morning. I might bring you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Simple
man, I got
shit
a story, baby. I got a story.
goes a long way. So that's what I got on that, bro.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little put you on game, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
different employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Employee will look at somebody in a higher position, be like, man, look at them. They don't even do that much work. Yeah, that's why I want to get that eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people be like, look, they that high, but they don't want to help nobody out. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
need to be in that position so I can be able to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the other person that be like, look, I need to get all the way to the top because I've been through all these scenarios and I know how to help everybody out from the management to the employment. I can create a better
Mm-hmm.
environment, a safe environment. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the
Mm-hmm.
main things when they say in management is, look, as a manager, you don't want to even though you're employed, you don't still want to act as if you're still employed because you're in a different position. But
Mm-hmm.
we always understand in those different positions, it's the way you talk to individuals that'll get them to move in certain actions.
Mm-hmm.
That's why management is funny, right? You have some people that are so positive, people like, yo, why this nigga so fucking happy all the time? You know what I'm saying? And then you have people like, yo, he's so negative. Well, I hate this nigga, but I need this job, right? You can create, you can see that. That's the funny thing about when you move up, bro. Your
Mm-hmm.
words is everything at that point in time on how you move other individuals, right? That's why some people get inspired when the general or commander comes down to shake everybody's hand. They get out there with them. Hey, we doing 20 push-ups. I'm doing 20 push-ups with you. Hey, we got to go run a mile. I'm gonna run a mile with you. It's different power within it. Like I said, power is a beautiful thing. I don't care what nobody says. Now,
Mm-hmm.
there was something you said, right? I made a post about a week ago, right?
About a week.
I said, yo, I'm doing my first business with a woman now. You know, I got a woman business partner. I told her, hey, look, you're full-time employment. I'm full-time employment. We're going to be
Uh,
building a business on the side.
mm-hmm.
I then attempted building businesses on the side many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might have failed because we didn't communicate as a group. There's somebody stealing. There's people lying. There's people going to the bank accounts. It was a lot of shit, right? But I knew right away because when I'm in a relationships with a woman, I do things on a monthly basis to make sure they're okay. One things
Mm-hmm.
I do, I love to book a massage or send them to the nail spa, right? So the smallest thing I said, look, you're working full time. I'm going to pay for a massage once a month, and as revenue increases, it's going to increase to 2 times a month, right? Some individuals are like, what kind of job is that? Why would you pay to get a body massage? Oh, y'all must be having sex and stuff. I said, you know what I'm saying? And
Oh shit.
as I'm getting these comments, I understand these are people at the
Uh,
lowest totem pole in employment.
uh,
Why I say that? When you're at the lowest point in employment, they bring food to you. They don't send you to get food for yourself. I'm gonna say it again. The break room, where they got pizza, nachos, hot dogs, the free lunch. They didn't give you the money for you to go out there and pay for. They didn't give you the money to go out there and get what you want. And and people hate when I talk like this, but it's absolutely the truth. The way you perform is why you get more in your appointment zone and why you don't. Right? You get a
mhm,
paid vacation. Some people literally
mhm,
get a paid vacation to Las Vegas, to Florida, to New
mhm,
York because of their fucking
mhm,
performance. Some of
mhm,
you people ain't
mhm,
never performed on a high level, so why y'all
mhm.
think so shit like that? The body's everything. If the body breaks down, the mind will break down eventually. And if you trying to
Right.
keep everything in your mental
Mhm,
while working on your body, once that's shut down, everything cracks. So what do? I gotta make sure the woman I'm working with is performing at a high level. So I'm going to pay for massages for her. Just like if I'm in a relationship, I would pay for a massage for her or I do it myself. But if it's somebody I'm hiring, I don't need to touch them on a physical note.
mhm. Thanks. And just adding to what you're talking about, we're in a space now where people really don't, they're not used to appreciation so much that they feel like if you have appreciation, even if it's not within the intimate relationship, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta be fucking. Something,
Yeah,
something gotta
you
be
gotta be
up.
fucking. You gotta be
If you're
fucking.
doing something right, you gotta be fucking. And that's a negative space to be in. You feel me? Like appreciation goes a long way. So we got to rebalance and tap into how to build and keep maintain relationship properly. You have to show that appreciation. Um, and I would just say for the people that want to be that hand that's feeding people, you can't please everybody.
At
You
all.
never will. Sometimes, no matter how humble you are, no matter how much you adjust your approach, no matter how much you give, sometimes you just won't please everybody. And I see a lot of people that are givers, that shit really destroys them sometimes. That they just cannot please particular people. It could be parents, family members, friends, whoever. You feel me? Like within that process of giving, I always say give the people that give you something back in return. And even if they can't give you what you've given them, they still can reciprocate that value. You feel
Mm,
me? So those are the relationships that you tend to.
right.
Sometimes separating from relationships can be a hard thing. You feel me? Like imagine somebody got to cut their parent off that probably need them at that moment, but they gotta cut that shit
Mm,
because now it's destroying their progress.
mm,
So most definitely, you can't please everybody, and you shouldn't live to please everybody. Feel
not
me?
at all.
For every person that you can't please, there's probably a multitude of people that appreciate you 10 times more than that person. So if you give your energy to the wrong person or to the wrong group of people, that's on you at the end of it.
Mm,
Feel me? A lot of people have this scenario in their brain like, I'm gonna just give, 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 and that's gonna be my cheat code to heaven. Or I'm gonna live better in the afterlife because I'm giving, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Nah. You give in places where you receive at the same time.
mm,
That's how you have your heaven on earth, so to speak. Because you're not draining yourself within that process. You're still charged because that energy is not dying out, it's reciprocating, it's building. You have some people that can feed somebody and their high is when that person come back to them later and they like, man, what you gave me really helped me. Now I'm doing good. Shit's good now. You know what I
feels
mean?
good.
When you see them seeds grow within people, that's a beautiful thing for some people. Because now they be like, okay, cool. They could find purpose within that. Be like, okay, cool. This is why I'm here. I'm planting seeds. To see your seeds grow and harvest, that's a beautiful fucking thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Sometimes people put time limits on that shit. Sometimes it could take less than a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, depending on how old you live.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to see your seeds grow and harvest within people, that's a beautiful thing, man.
Right.
I definitely appreciate people that get highs off of that type of energy. So that's my closeout on that.
Oh man, I ain't really got no clothes. I don't, you know, being a person who lives in hand, like I said, extending the hand is powerful. Because look,
Mhm.
same time when you extend it, sometimes you pull it back and you're rewarded.
Feel me?
But that's a whole different thing, man. People don't understand that, man. People don't understand.
Feel me?
Y'all
Yeah,
gonna y'all gonna paint me in the future. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all gonna paint me in the
shit.
future.
Yeah. So we can close out on that episode, man. I think we did our job. You feel
Oh
me?
yeah, he's
Um,
not wrong, episode.
yeah. Make sure y'all tap into the IG. Follow us on IG and YouTube, Talk Man Talk Official Podcast. There's more content on both platforms. Definitely share the videos, share the lives, you feel me? Support. You know what I mean? We appreciate everything.